Alrighty. All right. Let's do this. Little introduction here. How's it going, guys? Welcome to React and Chill. Gonna be chilling and reacting. Have here Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit files a shocking 200 million lawsuit. Okay, that should be kind of interesting there. I know some of you guys may not be the biggest fans of Limp Bizkit, but I am always curious about, well, of course, anything drama related for sure, but a lawsuit. Okay, let's see what's going to happen here. That has my interest for sure. Gonna explore the dark side of the music industry. And then a KSI reaction. Wait, on YouTube? Yeah. You know what? Let's do that one now. Now. Yeah, let's get that one out of the way. Let's just get that one out of the way right now. That's going to be painful. And don't worry. It's 100% not going to be struck down or anything on YouTube because it's going to be done the correct way. Look, man, I believe in having genuine reactions. And let me tell you something. I'm going to try to separate my bias of this guy. I'm going to try to, okay? But I'm going to press play. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to hear it. You're not going to hear it, okay? All right? Because YouTube, okay? But I'm doing this on YouTube because he is a YouTuber. And it's like fitting. It's fitting for it. All right. So I'm gonna make, yeah, okay. You will not be able to hear this. What you will hear instead is do I have anything close to it? Not really. Let's see. Let's put on I put Donkey Kong Country. I'll put this one. All right. Yeah, I'll do this one. All right. So here we go. KSI Thick of It featuring Triple Red. I don't even know who that is. Am I supposed to care? I don't even know. Is that someone good? A Trippy Red. I can't even read. All right, let's check this out. I don't think I can get through this, man. I don't think I can get through this. This mumble rap stuff, garbage. I hate that stuff. I'm gonna give it another go here. Oh, shit. Oh, man. I don't know if I can get through this, man. I can't. Look. There's a reason why people are calling it trash, okay? There's a because it fits. I can't finish this. I'm not going to. It'd be the one thing I'm just not going to do there. I react to a lot of things here on this channel, but this I'm not going to be able to get through for sure. Because what just hit me now was this auto-tune like part, and I hate that stuff. I really do. The mumble rap, the autotune rap, that stuff. It's fake. It's fake. It's not real. It's bullcrap. Yeah. So that's what a YouTuber with a huge ego is working on. Okay. Well, that's trash there. Anyway, on to something better. I'd rather listen to Limp Bizkit. 100%. Fred Durst, Limp Bizkit. I want to know about this lawsuit. I want to know about what's going on with this lawsuit here. Okay. And let me tell you one thing too about this KSI stuff. If I really wanted to play the YouTube game, right, I'd be like kissing his butt. Okay, I'd be like kissing up to his fans, right? I'd be like, oh, it's so great, it's like so good, it's like the best thing ever. But that's not what's happening here. That's never gonna happen here, because I'd rather be real than they come with that stuff. All right, here we go. Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit shocking $200 million lawsuit. Okay, let's do it.
Breaking news in the Rock feed. Limp Bizkit frontman Fred Durst has just filed a shocking $200 million.
Wait, that's Fred Durst? That's what he looks like? Are you messing with me right now? He's like an old man. He's an old man now. He has like a Santa beard going on there. What? I can't believe that's real. Anyway.
Lawsuit against Universal Music Group, alleging that for decades now, the band hasn't received any royalties for their music. Of course, we've seen and heard in interviews that members of Slipknot have said they hadn't made
no royalties whatsoever? Like how? What are you talking about? Limp Bizkit's been around since like the late 90s, right? Like 2000s. What do you mean you haven't received a single dime of royalties? That doesn't make any sense. Like, I understand that, you know, there's an advance that's offered and they have to recoup that cost. That's what they say, right? But by now,
any money off of their music. And as we know, so many artists are entirely reliant now on revenue from their live shows and their merch. And many people just discount the idea that bands would make money off of their music. But why is that? Is it because that music doesn't make any money? Well, no, that's not true. Limp Bizkit has currently 15.
Someone's making a lot of money. Someone's getting paid. If it's not the band, then it's going to be the people managing the band. It's going to be the producers.
Million monthly listeners. And for
of
all
course,
the jokes about
services.
Spotify not actually paying people, the truth is they really do pay people. But the question is, who has been getting paid? And the answer in this case, according to Limp Bizkit, is not them.
Wow. That's crazy to me. That's insane. And we're talking about a band that's been around for a long time. We're talking about a band that's... Dude, like, MTV was like a thing when they were out. Dude, like this, I remember that scene, that time when like Korn was popping off and like you had Limp Bizkit, you had the whole wave of new metal stuff. And I just, man... There's a lot of buzz around them, man. They were selling albums like crazy. Wow. Okay. It's 2024, and now we're doing a lawsuit about no royalties. It seems like, you know what? I kind of wonder if the cash from the live shows and merch was nice, was good, because like why wait this long? Huh.
which is egregious. Decades after they signed their record label, we're expected to believe that they're still recouping their original deal that they signed. But Universal Music Group apparently feels that they're not entitled to any money. So it's going to be interesting to see how this case plays out. But rest assured, how to tell if somebody's real in the music industry? Are they willing to file a lawsuit against the biggest label on the planet? And that
yeah. Ooh. Now that's what got my interest. That's what I'm interested in. Like you guys, some of you guys may not like Fred Durst. I think, Fred Durst is an asshole too. You might not like Limp Bizkit, but a lawsuit like this, what's going on? All right. You have my interest. What's happening? Hopefully it's a wake-up call, but we'll see. We'll see how the United Music Group responds.
That's exactly what Fred Durst has just done. So he's not just sticking up for himself. He's not just sticking up for his bandmates, but he's also sticking up for the numerous other artists that have either encountered this in the past or will encounter this in the future. Here's what we know. While he may have done it...
So other bands are going to be looking at this and seeing what's going to happen for sure. Because it's not just Limp Bizkit. You mentioned Slipknot earlier. I wonder other bands might start coming forward too. Might join in on this. That'd be great. Because if they're really not have been paid all this time, that's absurd, man. And we have another video coming up called "The Dark Side of the Music Industry," and how some say it's a literal scam. Is it a literal scam? Well, that's something we'll look into in a little bit.
It all for the Nookie. That doesn't mean that he shouldn't be compensated for his work. In a shocking lawsuit filed today, Fred Durst alleges that Universal Music Group hasn't paid Limp Bizkit any royalties for decades. It's a stunning claim from a band that sold more than 50 million albums over the years, and to date, still has more than 15 million monthly listeners on Spotify. But where is that money going? Limp Bizkit's attorney says not to the band.
Okay. All right, well, it sounds like someone's owed some money. It sounds like someone's owed an explanation. I wonder if they'll produce receipts of, the show for the, where the money went.
In fact, he said the band had, quote, not seen a dime in royalties. Now, when a band signs a record deal, in many cases, they're provided with an advance or a large lump sum payment. And over the years, as the band releases music, the label will recoup that money from the sales of their music. Now, that's an oversimplification, but you get the gist of it. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to imagine that decades later, with all the massive success that Limp Bizkit is having, that this label is somehow still recouping the advance from their music.
Yeah, that's absurd. That does not make any sense to me whatsoever. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Music. In Fred's lawsuit, his attorneys contend Universal Music Group have so many problems paying their artists what they rightfully earn.
Well, I'm sure management gets paid. Management gets paid. The artists do not get paid. That's what's happening there. It's sad, but it's true. So, yeah, you definitely need to ask, the record company, hey, what's going on with that money? Where are these receipts at? I'm sure they have an answer. I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if they say, oh, that's not information you need to know. which would be silly, right?
Earned. And in the digital age of streaming, where the numbers are automatically calculated, why are so many artists kept completely in the dark about how much money their music actually makes? In Fred's lawsuit, they allege it's all by design. Durst and Limp Bizkit accuse Universal Music Group of devising a systemic and fraudulent policy deliberately designed to conceal royalties from their artists and keep those.
What? That doesn't even sound legal. How? Because you could not legally withhold like information about payment from an employee. Imagine if YouTube was like, no, we're not going to let you see your earnings. Imagine if Twitch was like that. That's weird. Doesn't seem legal.
Those profits for itself. It adds, UMG's creation of such a system, while holding itself out as a company that prides itself on investing in and protecting its artists, makes plaintiffs' discovery of UMG's scheme appalling and unsettling. The attorneys mentioned the major resurgence Limp Bizkit has been having. They're going to be playing stadiums with Metallica next year. The attorneys write, despite this tremendous comeback, the band had still not been paid a single cent by UMG in any royalties until taking action against UMG.
I see that the stream is stuttering here. That's not good. It's weird that it's coming up now. Yeah, but this is pretty doozy. After this video, I will probably refresh the stream here. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely all these royalties. I would think anyway.
Leading one to ask how on earth that could possibly be true.
And not be able to show them what their earnings are, like as if they don't have a reason to access that information. That just sounds so weird to me, like illegal, criminal.
The situation began to unfold back in April when Durst retained new representation, and they were shocked when he told them he had not received any money for any Limp Bizkit exploitations ever. This is where.
Wait, what? Then how are you living? How are you living? I have that question there. Okay. I mean, there has to be some money. I mean, that's kind of a wild claim. I'm kind of like, well, okay, well then how are you affording to live?
Things somehow get even crazier. So after all these years, Fred's wondering, hey, why am I not getting any money? So as any reasonable person would, he tries to go and get
is he eating ramen every day? I mean, even that costs money. I'm not understanding that part.
Statement. Hey, what's the balance here? Let me see the numbers. Where are we at? How are we doing? And extraordinarily, according to this suit, UMG declines his request simply to get some sort of an accounting on where the band is at.
Okay, that part is wild to me. That it declined their request.
In terms of their recoupment, the lawyers write, Durst explained that he had been informed by UMG that he had not received any royalty statements because UMG told him over the years that it was not required to provide them since his account was still so far from recoupment.
That's crazy. You know, you'd think an employer would show you your earnings there, even if there were like a lot of expenses, a lot of deductions, you know, a lot of things taken out. And you'd think you would be able to see that, you know.
Durst's representatives, suspicious that UMG was wrongfully claiming plaintiffs' accounts were unrecouped, suggested investigating further. It was at this point that Limp Bizkit's new representatives took matters into their own hands. They reached out to UMG, and they got a different response. Apparently now, Limp Bizkit actually had over $1 million in royalties. But
wait, what? How'd that change? Oh, where are you? Yeah, that's right. You work for us. That's right. Oh, yeah. Remember, you complained about not having money. You said you're not getting paid. Oh, guess what? We found the money. We found the money. It's between the mattress and the couch, the cushions.
The label had failed to alert the band about the money. This, of course, led to more suspicion. I mean, who do they have running their accounting over there at UMG if this is true? The Hamburglar? How do you go from, well, actually you're unrecouped to now, oh, well, you've got more than $1 million in your account? I mean, that's a big difference.
Yeah. Maybe they got confused with all the zeros. They couldn't figure it out. They're like, oh, you have no money here. There's nothing but zeros here. I don't know. I don't even know how to make that work.
So this naturally led to some significant questions about their accounting practices. Yeah. Upon further investigation, the representatives didn't like what they found. Apparently, there were significant gaps in royalty statements throughout Limp Bizkit's history, including during the height of their fame in the late 90s and early 2000s. The lawyers wrote, UMG's failure to issue royalty statements, in particular from 1997 to 2004, the height of the band's
fame. Holy shit. It's that egregious, that big. Dude, what were they doing? It's like, what were they doing during that time? And what was the band doing during that time? I would imagine, like, if you were in that situation, that you would probably ask repeatedly, hey, can I get a statement of these earnings? No, you can't get that. That doesn't make any sense. What do you mean I can't get that? What do you mean I can't get that? No. That's bullshit. No. Where's this money going? They might unsign you. I don't know. Is Durst an idiot for not noticing sooner? Well, yeah. I mean, is Durst an idiot? Well, he's an asshole and he's an idiot. But is this wrong? Yeah, it's also wrong. All these things can be true at the same time. Okay. It took him a little while to realize he's not getting paid. But at the same time, though, I'm kind of like, well, then how is he affording to live without getting paid? It's kind of like you're getting some money somehow, because unless you had a job other than this, but. You can't live without any income. Probably concerts. Yeah.
And during periods in which they made record-breaking sales, with respect to its most popular albums, suggests that UMG was intentionally concealing the true amount of sales, and therefore royalties, due and owing to Limp Bizkit, in order to unfairly keep those profits for itself. The suit also deemed the assertion that Limp Bizkit was somehow still unrecouped on their record deal after selling tens of millions of albums.
Oh, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Oh, man. All those expenses. Man, but you know it. You know the people count those expenses, count every little penny. Yeah. Just keep that in mind. If you're in a band and if you have a hotel room and you're not paying for it, you don't think you're paying for it, you're paying for it. Okay? It's not magic money. Okay? They pay it for you and they take probably 3 times as much back, okay? Because they have fees and stuff, okay? They're not running a charity. They're running we're going to exploit your talent. You're going to go out there on stage, play that music that they liked. Hell, the record company probably doesn't even like that music. Play that music. Entertain those idiots. I profit off of you and off of them, and we're gonna get to the dark side of the music industry, okay? Hey, Durst will own UMG soon. See, I kind of wonder if it'll go that far, or if they'll cut him a deal. How far is he willing to go?
Was highly suspect. They wrote, given that Limp Bizkit's first 3 albums had already sold several million copies by the early 2000s, The recording funds and costs should have been quickly recouped, and UMG should have started paying royalties on.
No, imagine there was like interest on those charges or something on those costs. I don't know. I can't imagine that, but there's no way he's still paying off of expenses for was it Chocolate Starfish? That one? Man, I don't even remember. I don't even remember the titles of his albums, honestly.
On those albums right away. Not over 20 years later. Later in the suit, they wrote, given the vast amounts of money collected by UMG in relation to sales of Limp Bizkit's and Flawless Records albums over the years, UMG is liable to plaintiffs for tens of millions of dollars in copyright infringement, if not more. Indeed.
Whoa. Okay, so now he has some good lawyers on his side, then it sounds like. Okay. Dude. Man, this is prime for Jew jokes all over the place. He got lawyers. He got record company. I'm just saying, man. He's like, I found better ones. I'm gonna. Mind you say this. Okay. But you know.
Plaintiffs allege that the amounts owed to them by UMG following the recession of these agreements will easily surpass $200 million. So this is a very important lawsuit that's
wow. And I mentioned this earlier. I wonder if other bands will join. It'd be cooler if they did and put more support behind it. Pretty cool.
Going to have major ramifications on potentially numerous.
Oh, yeah, I got to hold back on certain jokes on YouTube. Otherwise, they'll get me. Yeah. Because they have powerful ones, too.
Other artists. This idea that an artist could potentially go to their label and ask for a financial statement and be told that they're under no obligation to receive that, if that is indeed true, is insane.
Yeah,
to me, especially
that doesn't sound right. That cannot be official company policy. I'll be like, show me where that's written down. I'm gonna speak to HR about this.
In the digital age, when the numbers are very clear, and so. Here with Fred Durst, he's not.
Yeah, if you're in a band, like, how do you file like a workplace grievance? Are you even able to?
Not just sticking up for Limp Bizkit and himself, but this is also for numerous other artists out there who could be impacted by these type of wacky situations where the
official company policy to not pay their artists, or to and not even let them see the financial records. Like, I understand maybe like the more advanced breakdown of the fees. No, honestly, it'll kind of like how you get a check, right? What you have a check stub. And most companies do it electronically now, and it's gonna have a breakdown of your deductions and all that stuff. Okay, or if you ever work or do business with someone, even if it's like a contract work, you will see on the invoice the money in, okay? You will see what was spent, all right? You will see that. But they're saying they're not even allowed to see that. Wow. So that means as a YouTuber, I can't believe I said it that way, I have more access to what's going on with, getting paid by YouTube or Google than Fred Durst does with his record company. Because I can actually see it. I'd be like, oh, okay, it says this much, okay. That's wild to me.
They're like, oh, we don't know how much we owe you. It's like, you're a massive corporation who seemingly is making billions and billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars, and you have no idea how much this band that made a lot of money for you is actually owed. And so,
but Fred Durst might be kind of an idiot to where maybe I'm gonna put this out there. Okay, just. What if there was a way to actually access those statements and it's like electronically and he has to like go to this weird website to do it? It's like a company website. It's very obscure and all that, but he just never could figure out how to do that. Look, I'm not saying that he's not entitled to the money that he's owed. Obviously he is. And good on him for suing the company for sure. What I'm saying is you got to be smart with it. Okay. All right. Otherwise they will exploit you even more, okay? What I mean is, There's a show called Trailer Park Boys. There was a character in that show that it kind of reminds me of. The white rapper guy. Anyway.
So the lawyers bring up some really good points here where they say, hey, this should have been recouped a long time ago. How are you claiming that Limp Bizkit is somehow unrecouped? And for all of us out there who have spent money on Limp Bizkit music and to know that even all these years later, it's one thing to be an unrecouped band and to have a major advance, but we all know Limp Bizkit has made crazy money over the years, and to find out that it hasn't gone
crazy money
to Limp Bizkit is super frustrating if this lawsuit is indeed true. So we're going to have to look and see how this all shakes out. It could take many years, and, you know, of course, it could also end up in a settlement. Maybe UMG comes out of all this and goes, hey, you're right, we messed up. We're going to pay you, and we're going to make this right. And that would be wonderful as well if that ends up in that way as well. What it comes down to is Limp Bizkit had this amazing creative vision. They made this great music that people still love to this day, and they should be compensated for that. And Fred is
100%, and other bands that are in this situation as well, for sure,
willing to stand up to arguably the biggest company in the music industry. And so that is what he's doing, fighting for Limp Bizkit, but also fighting for many other artists out there. Truly a man of the people.
The man of the people. All right. I did not think I would hear these things, these words to describe Fred Durst. I did not think that I would ever hear it like this. Wow. Kind of makes me wonder that whole asshole thing. Is he really an asshole? Or maybe he's an asshole because he hasn't been paid yet and he's been waiting on his payments for 20 years. Wow. He's a patient man. Other people would have quit. Other people would have been like, fuck that. But let's check out the dark side of the music industry. That was a little teaser. Okay. I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know what sort of quality this documentary is. I previewed it a little bit. It seemed like it was okay. I previewed a little bit, I mean like a minute in. I just want to make sure it wasn't. I hate the ones that are like AI generated. It's like bullshit. I think this one's legit. We'll see.
One music industry secret no one tells you is that you cannot get rich under a record label. With only 20% of the profit left after releasing a huge track, musicians are forced to dump this scam.
The only thing, the backing track, the little piano in the background, I should be fine. I might pause for, just to do so. And yeah, here we go.
Those who insist on staying back are compelled to sell their souls to the devil. The music industry is a myriad of spooky stories.
Yeah, and that's something that you hear quite a bit. They'll use the sell the soul to the devil. I think that's more like an allegory. I don't think that's like obviously like real, like a real figure, like a real entity, like Satan, like Satan's there, and Satan's there in the building signing these contracts with bands. I don't think that's the literal thing that is happening. I think it's you're dealing with business people who are very conniving and are going to take as much money as they can off of you, and they're going to wrap you up in deals that you're not going to read all the way through and through because it's a lot of text. And they're going to razzle-dazzle you and rope you into stuff that you're like, oh, wait, what's happening? Ooh, I got duped. Bro, you didn't read the contract. And, you got taken advantage of. You might call that guy the devil. But I'm pretty sure he prays to God. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he celebrates. Okay. I'm pretty sure Kanye has something to say. I'm going to not say anymore. Okay, about that. Just, there's some people who actually think that it's a literal devil. Some people out there, I don't think that's true.
Some of which you'll see in this video. Every talented singer hopes to join the budding music industry someday. They are blinded by the facade that soon after joining, they'll land a deal with famous record labels, perform at high-paying shows, collaborate with superstars, and make so much money from their craft. According to a study by Next Big Sound, only 0.2% of artists are megastars.
Very small, right? It's like you have to win the lottery to get there. But is it really the lottery?
0.9% mainstream, 1.4% mid-sized, and 6.8% developing. The remaining 90.7% are undiscovered their whole lives. Have you ever wondered why a music...
Yeah. Have you guys ever been in a band? In a garage band? You haven't? If you haven't, I was in one. You know, you get together with friends. You have a guitar. They have a bass. There's a guy with a drum kit. And, you know, you just mess around. Maybe play a couple gigs at a local place. You know? Some people do it for a little while. Some people actually try to stay with it. But it's, you know, there's people who actually really try who still go nowhere. You know? That might be known in their small town. Maybe they collab with some guy and they do like a YouTube short thing. But that's about it, you know? There's a lot of them.
Music artist suddenly goes under the radar a few months after he was the talk of the town. Of course, the figures don't lie. No doubt, musicians are hard-working people, but the music industry rewards more than hard work. There's more to it than meets the eye.
And the creative part is the fun part. Like creating the music and playing it is the fun part. The stuff in between, like the logistics of things and carrying equipment, packing up, going, living on the road, that stuff. Oh man, I have no desire for any of that, and I couldn't even imagine what it would be like to live like that. I'd rather not. Like, man.
Let's begin with the craze to become part of a profitable label. These institutions are a stepping stone for every musician's career. They not only promote your art, they also manage you by giving you a favourable public image. Our record label's the holy grail. You be the judge.
But just keep in mind, when you record your songs, they're not your songs. They own the songs. And you also got to pay for the recording time. Wait, isn't it their studio and their equipment? Yes. Wait, so why do you have to pay for it? Well, I mean, they already probably paid off that equipment already. It's his fees, man. What do you mean? You're asking silly questions. Of course you got to pay for it.
Yeah, I know this sounds vague, but you'll understand better soon. The record label industry is dirty, and the people there know it. It is not only exploiting...
Yeah, man, I could not imagine working in one of those jobs, man. To wake up in the morning and be like, oh, yes, I just want to exploit these people. I don't want these musicians to make anything, really. You know, we do all the hard work for them.
But detrimental to creative people. It starts with a passionate young adult seeking to promote their career by all means. Then, along the line, they join a promising label. Years later, this passion is replaced by cynicism.
Yeah, and then you get drugs in there and probably stuff like that, right?
They realize they've been tricked, but can't do anything. The first thing to know about this label is that signing a deal means signing away the possibility of making money off your record sales.
And that is crazy too, because we just covered Limp Bizkit. Apparently, he's not making any money. But you hear this. It's not just Limp Bizkit. You've heard this before of other bands. Be like, actually, I did not really get paid, and what I did get paid was not very much. It was actually it was like a joke. And it was like, what? Because guess who's making most of the money? It's going to be the record company. They're going to be making most of the money there.
Sounds ironic, right? According to The Root, an authority in the music industry, for every $1,000 in music sold, the average amount a recording artist makes is $23.40. And
That's probably like for the top artists, or not. I mean, the top. I don't think your mid-range guys are making even that. But that would be a good question to follow up on that stat there. I'll be like, well, break that down, put that in perspective. Because earlier you mentioned how like a very small, 0.2% make it like top tier artists, and then you have a slightly larger but still small, and then you have that 90%. Kind of curious where we'll be at.
No, this isn't because music is difficult to profit from. We all know that modern musicians can diversify their income much more than they did many years ago. However, the average musical label is an organisation with crazy fees, recoup clauses...
Oh, see, I thought I was about to say with ties to the devil. Some going, owing the label instead. Yes. Those are called advances. If the label gives you money, it's not free money. It's not free money at all. They might treat that as like a loan with some interest on there.
And hidden costs.
We still have this stuff, even though that's something that is not happening, because physical media is pretty much dead. At least in the U.S. In Japan, it's still a thing. They still do physical media quite a bit. Which is crazy to me. But yeah. Okay. That's what he's about to get at here. So I know about the breakage fee, and I believe they still charge us fee.
That means the record...
You can't get out of it. It's a bullshit fee. And they set the rules of the game. They're the gatekeepers. Oh, you want to play those big shows? You want to have your record in a store? You want people to know who you are? You want to be in the media? You want to go on MTV? You got to play ball. You got to do what they say. All right? You got to follow that contract. You better say yes to their terms. It is totally one side as far as like the power goes. That's why you do get that metaphor about making a deal with the devil. In many ways, it kind of is. I get the symbolism there. It's like they will offer you the world, what you think is the world. This is something you've been wanting for a long time, right? You want to be a musician. You want to be in a band. You want to be a rock star. That's old now. I don't know. You better play ball. Sign that contract and abide by those terms.
Generates most of the revenue from music, so we assume that artists would not be bent over barrels to pay for what they don't need. Sorry to burst your bubbles. They've now renamed this charge and called it digital breakage.
Digital breakage. That's not even a thing. It's bull crap. Digital breakage. How? I'm sorry, Hypnotic. Do MP3s just break? Yeah. What are we talking about? I don't ever recall pushing play on Spotify and it being like, "Oh, I'm sorry, the song broke." What?
Heck, no one is breaking anything. These managers don't want you to consider the crazy charges. They prefer you focus on the large upfront number.
Like these companies need to be sued hardcore. Well, I should probably be careful. I think I've been whitelisted by some. It doesn't matter. I can say what I'll say because they have the power. Like with the Fred Durst thing, I hope it goes through and I hope it goes well. But the cynical part of me says, I think their small hats have more power than his small hats. And they're going to be like, nope, not going to even happen. I hope it's not that way. I hope it's not. Okay? But like, dude, actually, if Fred Durst actually becomes like the one to like shake up the industry, that would be the least the least expected thing to happen, right? No one would be expecting that. All expenses. All expenses. The snacks and the studio. Even those. So elaborate in the background. I already know. Like I'm gonna see like a copyright on something, and which is bogus because I'm reacting to something that's like you shouldn't have to worry about that, right? But yeah, this is insane. You break it down this way, it is a total scam, and we're just talking about in the U.S. I am sure it is not much different at all in like Japan. I bring that up because this channel focuses a lot on Japanese music. And you think they have more generous offers? Why would they? I mean, they hold the power too. I'm sure it's going to be a very similar system. They have certain record companies that hold the power as far as who is allowed in. Now, you can go indie if you want, but you can only go so far, Anyway.
Independent musician, you'd make do with average producers, songwriters, and a regular studio to produce your song. However, with record labels, an expensive production crew is slammed on you.
Oh, and all of it's slammed on you. Okay, every little thing, every little expense, even the coffee that the production crew drinks, that's going to be on you probably.
Too bad you don't have a say. This technique is so you're deemed marketable for their gains. Tell them you're not interested in the big names, and they will show you the way out.
Yeah. You have to play ball. You have to do what they say. They own it. They own you. And you say, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, guess what? All that music you made, that's not your music. They'll find someone else to play it if people like it. You are replaceable. It's like Josie and the Pussycats. It's very much like that.
Unfortunately, many artists gleefully fall into this trap because they can't possibly market themselves. They want to gain some level.
Because it's hard to market yourself. It's almost impossible. Like, what do? You want to spend time making TikTok videos? Like a lot of other people? And how do you make your TikTok video or your YouTube short go viral? That's something that companies actively try to do as if it's something you can forced to happen, when really things go viral out of complete accident, like that Hawk Tool girl. That thing, complete freaking accident. When that thing happened, I had no idea what was happening. I was like, what are you guys talking about? Sounds like you're just talking about some chick talking about a blowjob. Why is this going around? I don't understand. But like, but if you're a big record company, big label, and you have ties with, magazines, and you can get TV, TV ads or YouTube ads. You can place the face of the band or the artist everywhere. You could just bombard people with marketing. Oh, and there you go.
Full of fame and independence first before jetting out. Record labels are not a free pass to fame. Moses Avalon, a music veteran with over 30 years of experience in the music industry, said the odds of becoming successful under a music label are slim. He says that 99% of those who sign to major labels each year never get to release their first album.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know it was that bad. Really? And I could think of a lot of bands that released one album and that was it. Wow. So there was a lot more that didn't even make it to a first album. Do you guys, I think it's just hypnotic here, but do you guys know of a band that like had one album? You really like this band, but they just kind of disappeared after that. They just disappeared. It's like, what happened? Also, another question. Do you guys know about the death clause? I reacted to that video, I think like a year ago. That's an insane thing too. You die, they still own your music. I think you figured that one out.
In fact, 0.2% of acts signed to a major label manage to avoid getting dropped from that label in the process of fulfilling their contract. These guys are attracted
Oh, wow. That's a... Now, I kind of want to see these stats. Now, okay?
to you because you have money or a huge following on social media. If you don't have any of these, don't bother writing to them because there's no vacancy for you. With at least 100,000 followers across relevant social media channels, you'll see them littered in your DM. They'll tell you how your music can change the world and how you're on your way to becoming the next Beyoncé. They take you to Spotify and preach your goodness to them to convince you that you've arrived. Please don't get too excited this period because it's all a trap.
I mean, yeah.
They will only help you market your songs when you've gone viral on a few social media platforms like TikTok. When Trevor
But they already want you to have a social media presence. So they kind of want you to have like a foundation already. And it takes a lot to even get that.
Daniel went viral on TikTok, he landed a deal with Alamo Records and felt that he had arrived. 1 year later, he told Rolling Stone that his label wouldn't allow him to release his major label debut unless he went viral again. He was
Wow. Look at that. And was he able to like get his music back and release it?
stuck with his first song and would only move a step further if he replicated the success of the first song. So what? Why do they have marketers on the label? This reinforces my earlier point that these labels do not market your craft. You do all of that yourself.
Exactly. So now they do even less work because they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it. They want to make it seem as if like they do, but they're not really doing anything. You're the one that's actually going to be marketing now. Oh, man. You know, it's kind of like, what's the point of a label now? You know, if you could rent out a studio, rent out the time, you already have the equipment. If you do, you and your guys, your bandmates, whatever, y'all play, okay, record that. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more to it than that, obviously. But if you were to, do all the marketing yourself on social media and stuff, and word of mouth, and I guess it's try to find places to play, But you're still doing that yourself anyway when you first start out. So anymore, I guess labels I don't know if the labels were always like this, because I think before social media, at least labels would like maybe get you a TV ad or a radio ad, right? Have your song played on the radio, but even then, that's a small percentage. Wow. I think it has always been a racket, and it's just getting worse.
Except you get lucky. And what's it they say about luck? Success is simply a matter of luck. I could go on and on about music labels and the lengths they go to rip young artists off their hard-earned money. The only reason they get away with it is that no one says anything. They thrive in the silence of their victims. Most business deals spanning over a century,
because if you say so, they'll probably kick you out.
I've had a thing or two to do with mafias. The music industry is not left out.
That actually, that's not just a conspiracy. Okay. Yeah, they're definitely linked. There's an interesting connection.
Out. This story is not one many love to hear, but it should be told regardless.
And I believe it's a product of the Prohibition, actually, because people don't just like to drink. They want to drink and have good music, too. And have something playing at these speakeasies, okay, at these bars, all right? All right? So, guess who was able to arrange all that, And remember how Prohibition started? Angry women. No, I'm just joking. No. All right.
Mafias were once prominent voices in the music industry. Several suspicious characters, like the Italian and Jewish mobs, played a role in developing musical ventures.
Italian and Jewish, okay? Not just Jewish, but Italian and Jewish, okay? Can't go Kanye over here.
The music industry interested the mob for many reasons. First, music became more popular in the 20th century when
Okay, yeah, bro.
most transactions were made in cash, especially drink sales, artist revenue, jukebox takings, and vinyl sales. At the time, the industry had new releases.
Okay, I'm actually, the backing music is a little too, the backing music kind of, for this video kind of reminds me of like, something for like Lord of the Rings, okay? It's a little too cinematic for this, okay?
As it did now, and albums were always available on the shelves. This meant there was money to be made every time. Music was also the central focus of most major mafia-owned institutions like bars and nightclubs. With the digitalization of the music industry and the reduction of cash payments, the mob has largely left the industry. Some experts argue that their influence is exaggerated. Aside from the profit
there's some videos we could watch to explore that. We'll do that at a later time.
they made, they were initially involved in the music industry to protect an artist and help them become successful. After these artists achieved their goals, they turn against them to intimidate and extort them. It's impossible to discuss how organized crime infiltrated the music industry.
Oh man, dude, that goes far. There's conspiracies on how labels actually wanted a particular artist, certain artists, to die so that they could still profit off their work and stuff. That's a pretty deep. Not really a deep rabbit hole, but kind of dark, obviously. The weird theories there.
Without mentioning Maurice Levy. He was a music producer and the founder of Roulette Records. His company's reach was so extensive that it was nicknamed the Octopus. Many didn't know that he was a Jewish gangster and an active participant in organized crime. Levy was answerable to Vincent Gigante, his boss. In 1966, Tommy James released his first hit, Hanky Panky.
Okay.
Due to its unprecedented success, he travelled to New York to negotiate a record contract for his band, the Shondells. After weighing the offers from other labels, he settled for Maurice Levy's Roulette Records. The next day, James noticed that the offer was retrieved, and the label threatened him. It was then that he realised he had been fooled into signing a fake contract.
Whoa, dude, you got duped. Holy shit.
Levy fraudulently listed himself as the publisher of the songs he produced, thereby
Holy crap.
keeping the royalties and publishing rights to himself.
Yeah, that's why the industry is the way it is. That's why it feels like you're making a deal with the devil. You're making a deal with criminals. Goddamn.
Artists were stripped of their efforts and investments.
Pretty messed up. What they do now is they make the cost of a stream so low, so that it's practically pointless. They probably do more than that, and that's what I can think of right now, though.
Levy's bodyguard was murdered, and he was suspected of being involved in it. He denied the allegation and moved on as if nothing had happened. He was finally convicted of extortion in 1990 after the FBI investigated.
Man, that dude had a... Look at that unibrow the guy has.
He was finally convicted.
Look at that. It's like now. It's all I could see.
Of extortion in 1990
It almost looks like he has a black eye. Two of them. It was like punched right above his eye, though. You know?
The FBI investigated and found him guilty. He died of natural causes before turning himself in. Let us know in the comments box below if you'd like us to do another video on mafias in the music.
Are we done with this? We're going... We're halfway.
Industry.
I want to know if there's like more...
21st century musicians may be lucky enough to not have been born in the era, but are still...
Well, P. Diddy. P. Diddy being exposed is going to be quite the doozy, right? I'm still waiting for to to watch it all unfold.
The music industry might seem rosy on the outside, but there's a lot more going on underground than we can cover here. One of the industry's darkest secrets is that wealthy men use their wealth and status to exploit women.
Oh yeah, that's going to happen just about any industry. I mean, it's Hollywood did that, music industry, yeah.
Notable music stars like Lady Gaga had, at some point, revealed they were victims of abuse. Abuse works this way. Someone uses fame and wealth to suppress a weaker person and take advantage of them. Imagine a talented young woman asking that a famous producer produce her song. Despite the quality of...
Be like, yeah, baby, I'll produce your song. And then he pulls it out. It's like, no, that's not what I wanted. Why does it have to be like that? I But they're the gatekeepers. You know, it's all nasty. It's all gross. It's all bad. It's all bad.
Of her work and talent, the producer asks for something in return. Because she's scared that her music career will die, she gives in and does his bidding. Stories like these are common in the music industry. After R&B singer R. Kelly was convicted in 2021 on multiple counts of sexual abuse in a Chicago court, the world was at peace.
R. Kelly was only the tip of the iceberg. Little did we know, this video was done like a year ago. Oh. Well, P. Diddy was about to supposed to be exposed a year later. Wow. And another thing too to consider is that it takes a family to be willing to sell their kids out for this too. The kids, they got peed on by R. Kelly. The 13-year-olds, I don't know how old they were. They're kids. They had parents. One has to ask, wait, why did the parents let their kids live with R. Kelly? What? For fame. And I mean, if something like that were to happen, well, I mean, that's a lawsuit too. For money. So, dude, I see the parents as animals too, as monsters, because no reasonable parent would be like, yeah, I want my kid to just stay with some random adult who has all sorts of power and fame, can do anything. You know, there's no one watching them. Yeah, no, I don't. No, that's stupid.
Victims of abuse globally got closure from the judgment. Kelly escaped justice for way too long until he couldn't. He used his money, fame, and power for over 2 decades to lure young girls into sleeping with him. These naive girls would think it was an offense.
Just the beginning, too.
To not accede to his demands since he was popular. Witnesses testified in court how he subjected them to sadistic behaviour when they were underage. He would not only beat them, but control their behaviours. He isolated his victims in hotel rooms or his recording studio and subjected them to absurd rules. One witness confessed that he forced her to film degrading videos as punishment for her wrongdoing.
And he probably kept those videos for blackmail and all that stuff. It's pretty atrocious. I would not actually say what I was thinking right there. It's about a Japanese band I follow. I just hope nothing like that is happening or has ever happened. I you know what? Never mind. This is I don't want to say it because I don't want to make it a thing like an idea. Okay. We're moving on.
When it's not abusers like R. Kelly taking advantage of younger girls, it is music producers demanding sexual pleasure in exchange for fame. Aside from Kelly, Russell Simmons, Charlie Walk, L.A. Reid, Andrew Lack, and others have been associated in all kinds of abuse. Although cases of abuse are not new, they gained traction in recent years.
Yeah, you could just burn the industry down then. I mean, we have a lot of good music already. we're fine. Why don't we just start like really looking into these people and seeing what they're doing and be like, hey, you know what? You belong behind bars.
Many of the abusers have been too scared to speak up since they didn't trust the hypocritical society, and the courts were not helping matters. In a society where women are blamed when abused or raped, it is harder to speak up and stand by yourself. These victims also feared losing their careers.
Yeah, and while I do want to say this, there's boys that are victims too, okay, like Justin Bieber and P. Diddy. Yeah. So, it's not just women. Everyone's like becomes like a victim in this of abuse and exploitation. It's atrocious.
Keeping mute was part of the strategies that kept them relevant. Some critics blame the industry for covering the tracks of abusers. Although it denies it, there are all indications that this may be true. One incident to draw lessons from was the case of the tech giant Alibaba. When a female
Alibaba? What?
worker reported an issue of sexual harassment, the company's management shoved it aside. Somehow, it made its way to social media.
Oh, China's Alibaba. I think I remember hearing. Was she the tennis player?
And the rest was history. The management was compelled to take action after it escalated. The music industry operates similarly. It is careful not to respond to an issue in a certain way because it affects the star's reputation. This connivance doesn't help victims.
They'll try to like sweep it under the rug or control it. Probably, things like that, yeah. Until they can't. Until it's too much. Is because these people are up to no good, into some nefarious stuff. Another reason why people consider a deal with the devil, because the people you're making deals with, a lot of them, it seems like, I'm going to just say a lot. I'm not going to say just some. I'm going to say it seems like they're into some messed up stuff, and they want more than money. They want to control you and to dominate you. They want your soul, man. They want your innocence. They want you, and they will take it because they can.
As it encourages the culture of silence. Objectification is another tactic the industry uses to silence new musicians. It doesn't tell you to be scantily dressed, but you get in there and see how it's done. Imitating your colleagues is part of the rituals that welcome you into the fold.
Yeah.
The new artist goes out to perform.
Yeah, you gotta dress like Tim. You gotta look hot.
And once they're on stage, they start to pull out their dress so that the crowd screams in ecstasy. The music industry is okay with sexualizing you, so it's fine. Do you ever wonder what happens when fans grope their favorite artist in their privates?
Well, if that happens, hopefully they have someone on the side that can kick their ass. Is he going to say that the management allows that to happen? Oh man, is that really where we're going to go here?
How does the industry respond to this? They are obviously silent. Unfortunately, objectification takes a
I think if you were to try to do that with like baby metal, I think you're gonna die. I think you're asking to get severely beaten up. What? I think if you did that at a Love Bites show, I think Midori might put you under. I'd hope so, anyway.
Spotlight away from their art and focuses on their sexiness. You'll be shocked at the number of people holding on from joining the industry. Those who want to be decent and famous rarely are. While you're still considering joining the music industry, here's a quick question. Are you ready to make...
And now they want to see men in dresses. You've noticed that? That seems to be happening a lot more. People thought it was just funny when, I think, was his name Cat Williams was saying that, they want you in a dress. They want them in the dress. They want the N-word in the dress, right? But it's like, it seems to be true. It's like, why is there a lot of that? What's going on here? They want to humiliate you. You do that for them, they know they got you.
Make a pact with the devil. This may sound like a lot, but it's normal in this industry. No one wants you to know till you get in.
Yeah, I gotta tell you this one. I gotta tell you this. You could everything we've heard so far in this video. If you're living in this, you would probably actually literally think you just made a deal with the literal devil or an entity close to it, right? Because as absurd as that sounds, people on the outside be like, wait, you mean like a literal devil? Like Satan himself? Like in the office, you're signing a contract with him? It's like, bro. It's like the stuff you do, the stuff that's asked of you, the stuff that's taken from you, you would think it was.
Some artists embrace the devil as a powerful companion before coming into the music industry. They believe talent alone was insufficient to keep one at the top.
Ah, okay, we're going that way with it, okay.
We've watched music videos and danced to the lyrics of our favourite songs, but didn't pay attention to some hidden meanings. These creatives are so secretive that they conceal these signs and symbols from the public. Others are direct about their source of fame and power. They credited it to the devil and admitted to receiving supernatural assistance from him in exchange for...
Man, the devil can do that for you? Can I call him on my phone? Is that how it works? I don't know.
Their soul. Some real stories will convince you.
Oh, that's why it wouldn't work. It requires a soul. Okay,
he was a young guitarist that played in dance clubs in the 1930s. He began learning
to deal with his music.
Learning to play the instrument as a teenager, but didn't have the talent and ear coordination to push through.
Okay.
He would perform on stage, but he was booed out a few minutes into the performance. It happened so...
But then he sold his soul to the devil? Is that where we're going here? What?
So much that the club owners started banning him from playing on their stage, as it was bad for business.
Okay, it was so bad he got kicked out of his business because he was causing customers to walk away. Okay, gotcha.
One day, Robert disappeared without a trace. Everyone thought he moved to a new city to find clubs to hire him.
Nah, he went to hell.
While others said he was probably too ashamed of the life he lived. One day, he appeared out of the blue as if nothing had happened. His curious friends asked where he went, but he said he didn't know. He claimed that he only recalled making a deal with the devil and...
Okay. But he comes back when he plays a lot better? Okay, so maybe he went to get... Maybe he was just practicing. Maybe he went away to practice.
Selling his soul for musical talent. I'm not one to judge if this was true or not, but those who watched him said it felt like two people playing at once. Other musicians who knew him said there was no way he'd be this good within a short period.
It sounds like he was just practicing, bro. This whole part could have been left out of this. I mean, the whole inclusion of like the devil metaphor, allegory stuff. Like I thought it was gonna go in the direction like you could see a pattern or similarities. You know, when you're dealing with people that are so wicked and sinister and criminal. You know, but we went in this direction. Okay.
This story was retold in music, film, and books, and became the most famous imitations in the music industry. Modern musicians like Marilyn Manson were given an honorary priesthood in the Church of Satan and claim to have had several encounters with Lucifer. Critics say...
Oh, several?
These artists could be exploiting our obsession with the occult to capture attention. On the flip side, it is not a coincidence that more musicians own up to their affiliation with the devil. Like Robert Johnson.
Like this stuff right here, I don't really care about. I'm like, okay. So you think you have some sort of connection with Lucifer. Okay. All right. Well, it seemed to work for you, but there's a lot of people who claim they have that connection. And where are they at? Oh, they're at some dead-end job. Or they're homeless. What I'm saying is it didn't work for them. Okay.
the devil could be waiting on the side of impatient aspirants. The rejection part of the industry is what many are not ready for. You can skip this section if you think it's too hard.
The rejection part. How's the rejection part hard? It's the last part of this video. I almost want to finish it just to complete it. Rejection? I think we heard the worst of this, of how you're being exploited and abused and you get no money. I think being rejected. What do you mean? Like, let's see.
Hard to bear, but please don't, because it's the last segment. Some say music is food for the soul, but don't tell us the kind of music that nourishes the soul better. Many musicians have had to walk out of a group disappointed because they were told their music was subpar. Others have given up on their career after getting a resounding no. This two-letter word is a hard pill to swallow, but it's an unavoidable part of life. Regardless of your industry, you'll be denied something you want.
Yeah, this part bores me. Okay, all right, but we got the heart of it. We got the meat and the potatoes of this. We can skip whatever this is. Okay. So, I tried in the beginning to react to KSI, Thick of It. It went as well as he probably thought it was going to go. We covered Fred Durst, Limp Bizkit, suing UMG for what sounds like a rightful reason. I am still kind of shocked that he just now realized that he had not been paid. I think most of us, if we weren't paid, like after 2 weeks of working at a place, we'd be like, "Hey, man, where's the money? A month, 2 months, you know?" But yeah. All right, and then we went even further into the darkness of the music industry, and that video was okay. In the beginning, beginning was the best part. Yeah, there we go. We learned quite a bit. It's kind of a dark episode, a dark stream. Well, I'll stream on Friday. I'll put it out there. Want to go? Good one, man. You take it easy, Hypnotic.